Here's a statement that it's probably the most important thing you could ever realize about your marriage, and that is the relationship you have with your spouse is nothing more than a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. The relationship you have with your spouse is nothing more or less than a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. Now, this is a very powerful truth, and it's well worth spending some time to think about. And the more you do think about it, the more you realize that it is true. But you also need to take the time to answer another question, and that is, what do I really think about me? You know, most of us get married or enter into a romantic relationship because of the feelings that being with another person gives us. And we see this story told everywhere you look. The boy meets the girl, they fall head over heels in love, they get married, and they live happily ever after. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, being happy is exactly the right reason to be in a relationship, although it's surprising how many people lose sight of this. But it's my conviction that if we don't feel good in our marriage, we shouldn't be there. Or at least we shouldn't leave things as they are and accept the bad feelings without trying to do something about it. And many people stay in a marriage hoping things will get better, but they never seem to. So why is that? Why do people stay in a marriage that makes them miserable? Well, there are many reasons, but one of the main reasons is what I'm going to cover here. And the point I'm making is this, that being in a marriage is all about the feelings, the good feelings that we get from that interaction with another person. It contributes or should contribute to our main purpose of being in this life at all, which is to be happy. Is there any other reason for life than to be happy? I don't think so. However, there's something else going on when many people enter a marriage or a relationship. And in fact, I'm going to suggest that it's happening in the majority of marriages. And that is, people use a marriage or a relationship as a way to fill in some deficiencies they may have in their own life. So they don't feel loved, so they feel someone else they hope will love them. They feel insecure, so they hope that being with someone else will give them security. And they don't feel good about themselves, so they look for someone else who they think will make them feel good about them. And they feel stressed, so they think that sharing their stresses with someone else will reduce their stress. And they don't have a sense of meaning in their life, so they seek out a relationship which they think will provide their life with meaning. So they meet someone, they fall in love, and they get married, feeling that by doing so they're going to get rid of their feelings of lack of love, insecurity, feeling bad about themselves, feeling stress, and having a lack of meaning in their life. And guess what? After the initial buzz wears off, they find all of those feelings that they wanted to get rid of, they feel they've come back. So then they try to fix the marriage, or they move on to someone else and repeat the same pattern all over again, when the thing they really needed to fix was themselves. You know, the only place to find love, security, peace, and meaning in your life is within yourself. And you'll only attract to you a person who is on the same mental plane as you. So if you want someone to love you, love yourself first. If you want a secure relationship, feel secure within yourself. If you want to feel good about yourself, find out about yourself and what is good about you, and there's plenty. And don't look at your marriage to provide what you can only find alone, which is the meaning and purpose of your life. Now sure, your marriage can and should contribute to all of these things, but it's not going to create them. Your marriage won't make up for things that simply aren't within you in the first place. And in fact, whatever is inside you, which are your so-called strengths and your weaknesses, these are only going to be amplified by your relationship or marriage. Those people who have great marriages usually have a high level of self-esteem. They feel good about themselves and their life. They also spend time working on themselves and developing their own natural individual qualities and sense of purpose. And their marriage becomes a reflection and enhancement of that. And that's the real reason why their marriage makes them happy. You know, when you don't need your spouse to make you feel good about yourself, or to feel loved or secure or to have a meaningful life, when you already have these things, then it frees you to be yourself. And your marriage becomes a place where you want to be rather than need to be. Because if you are needy in a relationship, you're going to drain the positive energy and it will never reach its full potential. And the greatest marriages are where the two people are there only because they truly want to be. They can therefore contribute to the marriage without fear or pressure. And in this sort of marriage, you never need to work on it. After all, how could anything you do for the sheer love of it, that is fun and makes you feel good, how could you ever consider that work? So if you want to create a great marriage relationship, start to create a great relationship with yourself. And if things aren't right in your marriage, start making them right in yourself first. And there's a wonderful double benefit when you do this. Not only do you create a better marriage with your spouse, but you become a better and happier person. So get to work on yourself. It's so worth it. Creating a better relationship with yourself is one of the things I cover in detail in my 30-day Save Your Marriage Relationship Transformation program. To learn more about my 30-day Save Your Marriage program, click on the link in the description.